I'm Dr. Juanita Mercer, and thank you so much for joining me today for powerful 31 Days to Self Accountability, where we ask ourselves 31 tough questions in 31 days to make sure that we are using our power for good, and that with every decision we make, we're demonstrating our love for God and others in everything we do. Today is day 18, and today's tough question is: am I using my spiritual gifts? Well, am I? We should be using our spiritual gifts anytime they are needed. Let's read from 1 Corinthians chapter 12, starting with verse 7. It says, "The spiritual gift is given to each of us so that we can help each other. To one person, the Spirit gives the ability to give wise advice. To another, the same Spirit gives a message of special knowledge. The same Spirit gives great faith to another, and to someone else, the one Spirit gives the gift of healing. He gives one person the power to perform miracles, and another the ability to prophesy. He gives someone else the ability to discern whether a message is from the Spirit of God or from another spirit." Okay. Still another person is given the ability to speak in unknown languages, while another is given the ability to interpret what is being said. It is the one and only Spirit who distributes all these gifts. He alone decides which gift each person should have. Don't we realize that this thing called life is all about God and what He desires for us? Our spiritual gifts are not just supposed to be used in just in an hour and a half on Sunday. Really? That's what we think? God and our spirituality and our spiritual gifts is not supposed to be separate from our other life, right? That is our life. Our spiritual gifts, these great talents and abilities, are supposed to be utilized everywhere we are. Let's consider Joseph. In Genesis chapters 39 through 41, Joseph is sold into slavery by his brothers, and he's bought by one of Pharaoh's chief officers named Potiphar. And Joseph is now a slave, and because the Lord was with Joseph, he excelled in everything he did. And Potiphar took notice of Joseph's excellence and put him in charge of his house. And the Bible says from the moment that Joseph was in charge of Potiphar's house, Potiphar was prosperous. Well, long story short, Joseph ends up in prison, right? But even in prison, the Bible says that the Lord was with Joseph in prison. And Joseph, operating in his spiritual gifts, becomes a star, right? And the warden of the prison takes notice of Joseph, and he puts him in charge of the other prisoners. And it says from the moment that Joseph was in charge, guess who prospered? The warden. And then Joseph uses his spiritual gift to interpret dreams for Pharaoh. And because of that, Pharaoh puts Joseph in charge of everything. Now take notice of this. Not one time does it say that Joseph used his spiritual gifts at the synagogue. He was using his spiritual gifts at work at Potiphar's house. He was using his spiritual gifts in prison. He was using his spiritual gifts in the government. Listen, your spiritual gifts are meant for everywhere you are. Don't you realize your workplace needs your spiritual gifts? Your community, your organization, your family, they need your spiritual gifts. Everywhere you are should be completely transformed because you are there operating in your spiritual gifts. People should be saying, "I want him on my team. I want her in my organization. I can tell that the Spirit of the living God is in him. I can tell that the Spirit of the living God is in her." That's how it should be. Is that what people are saying about you? Do you pray for God to increase your spiritual gifts and to give you opportunities to use them to make you and everyone around you better and to bring them closer to God, to transform your environment, to dispel darkness where you are, never forget how powerful you are. That's it for today. Join me tomorrow for day 19. And remember, in everything you do and with everything you have, love God and love people. Goodbye.